Welcome to
Unfiltered Growth.
Real talk on trends and strategies. This podcast is your weekly dose of reality-checked wisdom.
As we explore the intersection of entrepreneurship, marketing, culture, business, and innovation.
We strip away the BS and dive into real challenges and opportunities for revenue growth.
With a sharp, unfiltered lens.
Expect raw conversations, real success,
and failure stories,
and practical advice that you can apply to your journey.
No filters,
just growth.
I don't mind being the villain. I do not mind coming into these conversations in these rooms, and I be telling the people who be afraid to talk to their bosses, like, Troy, you here to, take inventory, see what the complaints are, everything. I'm like, put it on me. Put it all on me. Let all that energy come to me so y'all, because you have to have the conversations. If it's not working, y'all on the front lines, and it's not working. But the general back there in this cubicle over here, just go. It's not gonna work.
And we're good at that visionary mindset, and we love thinking and connecting because you and I have been at different levels, different seats, different positions at companies. So the blessing and the curse is that we see it as, and so I talked to someone this week that they're like, oh, it's kind of like you see the maze, but from a bird's view, because you've been and you've seen different people walking around. So you're like, oh, you're about to knock into the wall. But in your head, you're like, you're a dumb, and you're like, but actually, no, you're not, because that's not what you see. You see something different. But we see it from a bird's eye view because of the situations that we've been in, but also even working with a company, and you work with different departments with that company, you see where they're knocking into walls. And we knock into walls sometimes in those situations because they can't even break that wall down. And that's an issue, and that's an issue for customers, for prospects, for really anything. So don't be afraid to knock down walls that have been there forever, because you need to get through it somewhere and somehow and in some way, whatever that be.
And, you were said some things, and what screamed at me was, do the thing that's going to make future you happy, that your future you is going to thank you for. Like you said, if we eat a salad 2 times a week and eventually gets it 3 times, eventually it's, an everyday thing, but it's those, small incremental changes and habits. And people think, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Here's the thing. Your quick wins ain't get you nowhere. Your magic pills ain't got you nowhere. You trying this desperate one thing that you think this one person's going to do something, whatever, and it ain't working. Well, how about we try something different? How about we be real about where we're at? And one of the easiest ways to get people to kind of adjust, and it hurts sometimes, it's when's the last time you had a checkup? And they went through everything. They showed you where your cholesterol levels were, the realities were your potential for diabetes or other things. And then it starts getting real.
Or your car for an oil change. You're like, I don't need it yet. Even though it says it, I don't need it yet. We're fine.
Your transmission's about to go out. What you doing? It's all good. But when's the last time y'all have had a third-party audit of your business, of your marketing, of your sales operations, of your personnel? When is the last time you honestly took inventory? We don't have time for that. We just got to do the things that we set at the beginning of the year. We're going into Q2 now, and guess what? It still ain't working. Y'all trying to do things like a roadmap when it needs to be a GPS, and you need to bring in people to help you navigate this. But we're going to go the same way, and that's why people aren't growing.
Exactly, because complacency is something that is in life is just can be a true hindrance of things. And when you have complacency set in your business, you become satisfied with that your current level of success, and your blindness is your future set of success and your ability to adapt to the changing market or adapt to the changing environments within your organization. And you have to identify and really combat complacency. And that requires a culture of improvement and a culture of open feedback and of villains. Let's just be real. I'm fine with being the Ursula Okay, like I can be Ursula up in here from the maybe I don't. That's the only thing, or like Corella. Maybe I'm more Corella. I don't actually. I love dogs, so I couldn't do that.
You
But
could, oh, yeah.
yeah. It's like, but I mean, Disney villains are on the up and up. So be a Disney villain. You don't have to be a
They
villain
have
like
good positive art stories. They, they
exactly,
change,
exactly. And a villain, I feel you make me laugh because I don't see you as a villain at all. Troy, I'm more of the villain 100%. But I think of it as just a new set of eyes, and it might be ruffle feathers because change is going to make someone upset. We can't make everybody happy, and that's if that's your goal, like you're in the wrong business. I don't even know what business you would be in. You can't even make everybody happy being any kind of career you're in. You have to be able to have hard conversations, look at that inventory, and see or communicate to someone the changes that need to happen and have some real reasons behind it. And not just what you see, but you have to be a listener as well, because listening to other people in your business, that's a true skill. Because some people, they say, oh, we have one-on-ones, we have a 360 reviews or whatever you call them in corporate life. It's half the time it happens like once a year. Like things happen in a year. You have to have those pulse checks, those oil changes, health checkups, whatever you want to call it within your organization, just as much as you do when you're going through something. You have to have those check-ins. It's like a therapist, essentially. Like I see my therapist once a month. And if I see her once a year, I would be there for like 4 hours in a session. Like how can you expect your business to grow if you're not having those conversations with your people, or even looking at the data, having conversations with your product? I mean, kind of. It's like, are you in your product a lot? Are you seeing the issues that people are talking about? Like I was reading a community Reddit board from a software that I use, and people were kind of bashing it, saying they're not responding to things, they're not listening. Like that is one of the worst things. If you have your own like forum area and your customers are asking questions, and you're supposed to have a team that interacts with that, and people are getting like openly upset. I'm not saying make everybody happy, but just the act of responding and acknowledging is going to help you, because then like, okay, maybe we're not focusing on this right now, or maybe they're not focusing on this right now, but they've heard me. People want to be heard and feel like they can say what they need to say, just as you need to feel like you need to say whatever you need to as a villain. And otherwise, what's the point? Like, what's the point of feedback? What's the point of that if it's not going to be taken seriously?
So what I'm hearing, and what I think, to recap and bring this one to a close, is honestly, we got to do them checkups for sure. Let's not run away from the data. Let's not check the scale. Let's like be in denial and just, it was, I can't think, it was a comedian that says, I wore my sweatpants and they always fit. Then the one day I was trying to put in jeans, one day I realized, oh, and so what he did was he kept every so often, let me try on the jeans. Let me see where I'm at really. And I think sometimes, we can live in our little mode. We can look at our decks. We can go through our process, our checklist every day. But every once in a while, let's break the fourth wall. Like, where we're really at. How do people really see us? What is the perception? Is the perception reality? How's our margins? How is our team morale? I don't think we don't do enough of checking our team morale. And I think ultimately, when we're looking at how to move forward, do our goals need to change? And that may be a blow to the pride, the ego. We mapped it all out at the beginning here. We're going to go for $5 million, $25 million. We only on trajectory for like $500,000 right now, $25K right now a month, MRR. Like what's going on? And we can internalize that and blame ourselves so much. Yes, there's things we can optimize and improve through the checklist, but sometimes we have to see where the demand is and where the current is, where culture and society is, and saying, it just ain't here right now. And through those seasons, through those moments, you can still grow, but maybe you're growing in other areas of the business or other areas of the personnel until things, lift off and take off. And I think those moments people don't talk about enough. They see a post on LinkedIn, a thought leader saying, yeah, here's where I was. Here's my snapshot of me and my lowest. And here I am now with a team of 50 people and we're making like $10 million now. Okay, what happened between all of that? What about the moments where you're stuck and it's just, I can't see my way out? I don't know if I should invest money in a consultant to help me modify, or I should just double down on paying for ads. People are in those real life situations and saying, does it matter? Does it work? And I think that's what people need to talk about. That's what we're talking about. We want to really break that down so people don't think it's just, sunshine and rainbows. It's real out here. There's real life challenges out here.
With a diverse tapestry of humans, and we need to be the kind of revolutionize, I guess you could say, your marketing strategy, because you need to fearlessly embrace the diversity of humans that are working with your software, the diversity of humans that are talking to your employees, that are your prospects, and thinking with a DEIB lens with your marketing strategy is something that many companies suck at. I will just be very honest and very transparent. And so we're going to talk about how to create an environment that your values and missions say you have, but in your go-to-market plans.
I'm looking forward to it. Let go.
See ya.
And that wraps up another episode of Unfiltered Growth. Make sure you subscribe, rate,
with 5 stars,
and leave us a review.
Remember, growth doesn't happen in isolation. Join our community of bold thinkers and doers on social media and stay connected.
Don't forget to go to season3media.com/podcast for strategy or event inquiries, resources, or to just chill with us.
Until next time, keep pushing boundaries, embracing diversity, and never stop growing. This is Christina and Troy signing off. And remember,
no filters,
just growth.